introduction. And I told the guys, I want to introduce Paul tonight. And all I'm going to say is, Paul is a friend. He's a real friend. He's a family man. He believes in honor. He believes in serving this country. And he's the kind of man that we need to represent us in Congress. Turn the meeting over to Paul.
Thank you.
Hey, Paul.
Thanks for the introduction. It always feels like home week. You know, when you come here and you look around. Remember the TV show Cheers when Norm walked in? You kind of get the same sense when you walk in because you're amongst family and friends. You're all here for the same reason and the same purpose. So what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about tonight is a book that I authored called Eternal Battle Against Evil. And by the way, I'd be happy to donate one at the top there for a raffle prize. I bought some extra ones at the top if you'd like to take one home. This, what we're dealing with today, ladies and gentlemen, is a much scarier thing than anything in my generation. And the reason it is so scary is because we have a president who has no idea what he is doing, period. Beyond a strategy on looking at ISIS and the terror that we're seeing. When you look at ISIS, and by the way, John Barry and many of you know, have served in the military and understand what it takes. But the problem is, when we elect a president who then fills his coffers in the Pentagon and State Department with political appointees who don't like what we represent, who don't like the military, we get the kind of world that we're dealing with today. And it's very concerning for me as a father with 4 kids about what kind of community or country we want to see our kids raised in. Because I don't think this nation can survive another 8 years of somebody like this president, which is why the 2016 election is so critical. So critical, ladies and gentlemen, I think to the very survival of who we are and what we do and what we believe. We're obviously being attacked from within by far leftists, and now we've got the outside, where we see ISIS traveling across the globe into 16 countries and beyond. If you remember the old World War II movies and you watch the black and white maps of Nazi Germany conquer Europe, we are dealing with that revisited today with an ideology that is making its way through the Middle East, through Africa, and I believe into Latin America and into the U.S. here shortly. So what do we do? Well, back then we had America's Greatest Generation fighting that fight head on.
Right.
Today we don't have that. Our enemies don't fear us, Redlands are laughed at, and our allies don't trust us. It is laughable, it is inexcusable to know that we have a so-called 60-member coalition today that is fighting ISIS. That is an utter embarrassment. We don't have that. And it's because we don't have American leadership in the world. When we look at how to combat ISIS, we need to accept the fact that there is good and there is evil in this world. And this president said something stark during his first inauguration speech. And I tell people, compare that to the JFK speech. Light and day difference. But this president, in his inauguration speech, talked about extending a hand out to evil for negotiation. Ladies and gentlemen, Americans don't do that. We take a sword and we thrust it into the heart of evil so we can preserve our democracy. Today, this president is negotiating with Iran, negotiating terrorists out of Gitmo into other parts of the world. He has abandoned the very principles that have made this nation strong. And so we have to look at this, that we're up against the starfish of an enemy. That it really has no head. It's not like a spider. We need to continuously do all we can to minimize its effects. Because if we don't enact a good strategy for minimizing and fighting and defeating ISIS and that crazy ideology, they will replicate the Latin American drug trade routes into this country and come right across our porous border. I'm going to show you briefly a quick video that describes my book, which I authored 4 years ago, and I think it's quite timely here today.
It's not hard. No. We already established that. There's actually a...
Where's your cat card? Do you know what?
National Guard officer here.
Yeah, I see him. That's all.
served in Iraq, served in Afghanistan. Ladies and gentlemen, we won. We won in Iraq. It is this president who has lost Iraq to the next generation. We look at the surge in 2008, shrinking Al-Qaeda by 90%, focusing in on that money, and all the blood and treasure, losing Fallujah, Mosul, and cities in between, Tikrit, falling to ISIS, is another shame and disgrace to the men and women in uniform. But here's the biggest disgrace. This president brought home our men and women early because he wanted to keep some ridiculous campaign promise, almost a guarantee that I'm going to have to send my 4 children forward to finish a very brutal war that is going to be on our doorstep shortly. And so because of this, I've had an opportunity to speak about terrorism across the country, to go on CNN and Fox and others, and do a lot of writing. But I've also written a lot about this congressional race. We've written about the person that we have in there right now and what we can do to turn the tide. My opponent in Congress believes our #1 job in the military is to fight global warming. And you heard that before our debate. He is somebody who has signed on to the Iran deal. He is somebody who has voted 96% with Nancy Pelosi. We've got a new ebook coming out, which is going to be a groundbreaking experience, we think, for us on the right on understanding what the left does to fight back. The left in our race mailed out 27 negative mailers, doing all they could to destroy the good work that you did every single day in our communities. They put up $4 million in TV commercials like this, where they called us everything from radicals to extremists. And they did that because we were winning. They then brought out Clinton and they brought out Biden in this district. They spared no expense. They spared no expense in doing what they could to fight for the seat. Well, this seat now, ladies and gentlemen, is a #1 target for the Republican Party to win back. We had no help in 2014 from the National Party. Nobody thought at all we'd come as close as we did. But because of the work that you all did, think about this. Pete Aguilar, the mayor of Redlands, you all helped us beat him in his own city, where he was the sitting mayor, by 8 points, which says the people who know him best don't like him. We defeated him in my home city of Rancho Cucamonga by 14 points, yet we only have a 3% voter registration advantage. We win when we have the resources to talk about our message and what we want to do. Look, it's a tough race. I get it. We're in California. I get it. but I am never going to sway or move to the middle for whatever that is. I'm a conservative, God-loving, God-fearing, conservative Christian, pro-life American who supports our military. When we elect candidates that run to the middle, this is what I want you to think about. What is the middle today? The Democrat Party, and I'll be finished here in 2 minutes because we've got a phenomenal speaker on after me. Think about this. The Democrat Party of today is so far left that the JFK era would look like Republicans today. So when people say, are you going to be moderate? What are we coming to the middle on? No. We need to talk louder, stronger, braver about our values. And when we do, we win every single time. So we have to elect people at the local, state, federal level to represent our values. And all I'm asking for in 2016 is a fair fight this time. Yes. Not one hand tied behind my back. We need a little bit of air cover. We almost won this, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, we were winning on election night at 8:05. So with that, in my final minute, there's a plea. I need your help. I cannot do this alone. Before you on your table is a contribution envelope. Please take a moment. You know, we take credit cards, donations, cash. Heck, I'll even take an IOU if you like. But then, when you get a chance, come fill up this booth because we're very symbolic about this. We want to give Pete Aguilar, and that's his new name because of how he ran this race. All right. Pete Aguilar, the booth in 2016. So please help join us. This booth will be at the front of the table. Please come help fill this up so we can return conservative values to the Inland Empire. And lastly, thank you to your leadership, to all that you represent, because think about this. You are literally what stands in the way between sheep going with the herd and then awakening the population of what we have before us. So whatever I can do to support and be with you, God bless you, and I'm looking forward to hearing your next speaker, a great congressman and great American. Thank you very much.
Stand up and we'll take 2 questions quickly. If not, we'll move on. But oh, there we go.
Are you privy to anything about Operation Jade Helm, and can you give us a briefing on what we need to be aware of? Right.
Operation Jade Helm, is this the agenda? This is item that you're working on in the city of...
Take it to San Marcos, Texas, but it may be a national operation.
Right. So as a military veteran, as you may have heard, a lot of different military operations going on in the country. I'm not privy to any of the information. But I do know a lot of people are concerned, and quite honestly, we're Americans, we should be concerned. We should explore everything, but I apologize and I have any further information other than I'm reading the same reports you're reading.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you very much, Paul. And don't be afraid. You're welcome anytime.